there's a group of people walking this earth with a unique mission, though they might not fully realize it yet. They are the ones who feel out of place in a noisy world, the ones who have faced obstacles so profound they've been forced to question everything. Perhaps you're one of them. Maybe you've wondered why life feels heavier for you, why the path seems steeper, and yet why you feel an unshakable pull toward something greater. Today, we'll explore the journey of the chosen ones, those destined to rise from profound struggles, not just for themselves, but for a purpose far beyond what they can see right now. It's not just about enduring difficulties. It's about understanding how much of this struggle is something we create ourselves through resistance, through the relentless tug-of-war with life. Imagine what might happen if you could let go of that resistance, if you could stop wrestling with the things you can't control. What if the peace and freedom you seek aren't found in fighting harder but in surrendering deeper? In this video, we'll unravel the profound wisdom that has echoed through centuries, from the Stoics to the spiritual masters, from ancient teachings to universal truths. We'll talk about how embracing life exactly as it unfolds can change everything for you. You'll learn why surrender is not weakness, but the most powerful move a chosen one can make, and how shifting your perspective can bring not only peace, but also a clarity that propels you toward the transformation you've been seeking. Stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you'll not only understand the challenges you faced, but you'll see them as part of a bigger, beautiful plan designed just for you. Together, we'll unlock the secrets to acceptance, the strength in surrender, and the transformative power that lies within you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Let's begin. Life, for the chosen ones, often feels like a battlefield. The challenges you face aren't ordinary. They strike deeper, hitting at the very core of who you are. But what if I told you that much of this battle is internal? The mind, that constant companion, can either be your greatest ally or your toughest adversary. It whispers doubts, spins narratives, and clings to desires that feel just out of reach. And yet it's this very dynamic, the push and pull of wanting something or wanting to avoid something, that creates much of the struggle. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever felt that a particular situation in life would be unbearable if it didn't go your way? Maybe it was a job opportunity, a relationship, or even a moment of recognition you desperately hoped for. When things didn't pan out as you expected, did you feel as if the world was against you? That's resistance at work, the refusal to accept life as it is. But here's the revelation: resistance is optional. The chosen ones who find their power are those who learn to accept life, not as an opponent to overcome, but as a flow to navigate. You see, life has a rhythm, and when you align yourself with it, even the toughest challenges can become stepping stones. Take a moment to consider this. When you stop resisting the current of a river, you float. The energy you once used to fight against the flow is now freed to guide you forward. This idea isn't new. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "A man is as wretched as he has convinced himself he is." What does this mean for you? It means that your perspective, your inner dialogue, holds the power to either amplify your suffering or diminish it entirely. When you accept circumstances as they are, without labeling them as good or bad, you take the first step toward reclaiming that power. Think of a time when you faced something you feared, a moment when everything seemed to be falling apart. Maybe it was a breakup, a financial loss, or even a health scare. At first, the fear might have been overwhelming. But as you moved through it, as you accepted the reality of the situation, something shifted. The fear began to lose its grip, and in its place came clarity, even peace. That is the strength of surrender. This is not to say that you should become passive or resign yourself to fate. Far from it. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means stepping into the truth of the moment with courage and honesty. It's about saying, "This is where I am, this is what I have, and I will make the most of it." Now, let's take this a step further. What if you could look at every circumstance in life, even the most challenging ones, as if you had chosen them? Imagine the freedom in that perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you might ask, "What is this here to teach me?" That shift, from victimhood to empowerment, is where transformation begins. It's where the chosen ones start to see their struggles not as punishment, but as preparation for something greater. You may have heard the phrase, "What you resist persists." This isn't just a catchy saying, it's a fundamental truth about how the mind works. When you resist something, you feed it with your energy and attention. The more you fight against a situation, the more entrenched it becomes. But when you accept it, when you stop pouring fuel into the fire, the flames begin to die down. Acceptance is the water that quenches the fire of resistance. Let's take a moment to consider a practical example. Picture yourself stuck in traffic on a day when you're already running late. Your mind races with frustration. Why today? Why can't people just drive better? I'll never make it on time. This spiral of thoughts only adds to your stress. But what if instead you took a deep breath and said, "This is where I'm meant to be right now. I can't control the traffic, but I can control how I respond to it." Suddenly, the tension eases. You might even notice something you'd overlooked, a beautiful sunset, a song on the radio that lifts your mood, or a moment of stillness to gather your thoughts. That is the power of shifting your perspective. As chosen ones, this practice of acceptance becomes your greatest tool. It doesn't mean you won't face difficulties, far from it, but it does mean you'll face them differently, with a sense of peace and purpose that others might not understand. This is your path, and every challenge, every moment of struggle, is shaping you for something extraordinary. Stay with me, because we're only beginning to uncover the profound wisdom that can transform your journey. Ahead, we'll explore how surrender is not weakness but your greatest strength, and how timeless teachings from the world's greatest thinkers can illuminate your path. The best is yet to come. As you walk this path, you may find yourself questioning why surrender feels so foreign, even uncomfortable. In a world that glorifies control and constant striving, the very idea of letting go can seem counterintuitive, even weak. But here's the truth that the chosen ones come to understand. Surrender is not weakness, it's strength in its purest form. It's not about giving up, it's about giving in to the flow of life, trusting that every twist and turn is guiding you exactly where you need to be. Let's dive deeper into this idea. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents something you're holding on to, an expectation, regret, a fear. Over time, the weight becomes unbearable. But here's the catch, no one is asking you to carry it. The weight is self-imposed. The moment you realize this, you have a choice. You can continue carrying the load, or you can set it down. Surrender is the act of setting it down. This act of surrender isn't just about lightening your load, it's about freeing your hands to receive something new. When you cling to what was or what should be, you close yourself off to what is. Surrender opens the door to possibilities you couldn't have imagined while you were fixated on control. Think about water. It doesn't resist obstacles, it flows around them. It doesn't cling to one shape, it adapts. And yet, it's one of the most powerful forces in nature, capable of carving through rock and shaping landscapes. In the same way, when you surrender, you align yourself with a force greater than your own willpower. You become like water, unstoppable not because you fight, but because you flow. This wisdom is echoed across cultures and philosophies. In Christianity, the concept of surrender is often tied to the idea of aligning your will with God's will. "Not my will, but yours be done," is a phrase that captures this beautifully. It's a reminder that surrender isn't passive, it's an active trust in a higher plan. Similarly, in Stoicism, there's the idea of amor fati, or the love of fate. It's the practice of embracing everything that happens, good or bad, as necessary and meaningful. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacles you face aren't roadblocks, they're the path itself. When you surrender to this truth, you stop wasting energy fighting what is, and you start using that energy to grow and evolve. In Buddhism, surrender is tied to the concept of non-attachment. Suffering, according to the Buddha, arises from clinging. Whether it's clinging to pleasure, avoiding pain, or trying to control the uncontrollable. When you release that clinging, you find freedom. You discover that peace isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover when you let go. Now, let's ground this in a real-life example. Think about a time when you were caught in a situation you couldn't change. Maybe it was a delay, an unexpected setback, or a decision made by someone else that affected you. Your first instinct might have been to resist, to fight against the reality of the situation. But what did that resistance accomplish? Did it make the situation better, or did it amplify your frustration? Now, imagine approaching the same situation with a different mindset. Instead of resisting, you accept it. You say to yourself, "This is happening. I can't change it, but I can choose how I respond." In that moment, something shifts, the frustration dissolves, and in its place comes a sense of calm, even clarity. This is the strength of surrender. It doesn't change the external circumstances, but it transforms your internal experience. For the chosen ones, this practice of surrender becomes a cornerstone of their journey. It's not about escaping the difficulties of life, it's about meeting them with grace and courage. When you surrender, you're not saying, "I give up." You're saying, "I trust." Trust in the process, trust in the timing, trust in the greater plan that's unfolding. And here's the incredible thing. When you surrender, you often find that the very thing you were resisting begins to lose its power over you. That job you didn't get, that relationship that ended, that plan that fell through, they no longer define your happiness. Instead, they become part of the tapestry of your life, threads that add depth and texture to your story. This isn't easy. It takes practice, it takes faith, and it takes a willingness to sit with uncertainty, to embrace the unknown. But for the chosen ones, this is where true transformation happens. It's in the surrender that you discover your strength. It's in the letting go that you find your freedom. Ahead, we'll explore how this surrender connects to universal truths shared across spiritual traditions and how, by embracing the present moment, you unlock a power that propels you forward. Stay with me, because the insights to come could change the way you see your journey forever. The chosen ones often find themselves at a crossroads where the weight of life's challenges feels overwhelming. It's in these moments that the teachings of universal truths, drawn from various spiritual and philosophical traditions, can serve as a guiding light. These truths, though expressed differently across cultures and eras, share a common thread. The idea that peace is found not in controlling life, but in accepting it. Let's reflect on this idea through the lens of perspective. So much of our suffering doesn't come from the events themselves, but from the way we interpret them. The human mind loves to categorize good, bad, right, wrong. This constant labeling creates a roller coaster of emotions, with highs that are fleeting and lows that feel endless. But what if you could step off that ride? What if you could see every experience as neutral, as simply a part of the greater whole? The Stoics were masters of this perspective. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This doesn't mean denying your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It means recognizing that you have the power to choose your response. You can see challenges as obstacles, or you can see them as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Now, let's ground this in a real-world example. Imagine losing something you value deeply, a job, a relationship, a sense of security. The immediate reaction might be one of despair, anger, or confusion. Why did this happen to me, you might ask? But if you pause and shift your perspective, another question emerges. What can this teach me? How can I grow from this? The loss doesn't disappear, but it takes on a new meaning. It becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This shift in perspective isn't just about finding silver linings. It's about aligning with a deeper truth. Life is constantly changing. Seasons come and go. People enter and leave our lives. Plans succeed, and sometimes they fail. When you resist these changes, you suffer. But when you accept them, even embrace them, you find peace. You realize that every ending is also a beginning, that every setback carries within it the seeds of a comeback. This wisdom isn't limited to Stoicism. In Buddhism, there's the concept of impermanence or anicca. It's the idea that everything in life is temporary, our joys, our sorrows, our successes, and our failures. Clinging to what is transient only leads to suffering. But when you embrace impermanence, you free yourself to live fully in the present moment. You stop trying to hold on to things that are meant to pass, and you start appreciating them for what they are, fleeting but beautiful. This is where the chosen ones find their strength. They learn to live in the now, to let go of the constant mental tug-of-war between past regrets and future anxieties. This doesn't mean they ignore their dreams or aspirations. It means they pursue them with a sense of ease rather than desperation. They understand that the journey is just as important as the destination. Consider this: every great comeback story begins with fall. The hero faces trials that seem insurmountable, moments when all hope appears lost. But what sets them apart is their ability to rise. Not because they fight harder, but because they find a deeper well of strength within themselves. They learn to trust the process, to see the challenges as necessary chapters in their story. This trust is often referred to as faith. Faith isn't about knowing the outcome. It's about believing that whatever happens, you'll find your way through it. For some, this faith is rooted in a higher power, a belief in God, the universe, or a divine plan. For others, it's a faith in their own resilience, in the knowledge that they've overcome challenges before and can do so again. Either way, faith is what allows the chosen ones to move forward even when the path is unclear. Take, for example, the story of a seed. Before it becomes a tree, it must be buried in darkness. It must endure the pressure of the soil and the uncertainty of growth. But it doesn't resist. It doesn't question its purpose. It simply surrenders to the process, trusting that in time it will reach the light. The chosen ones are like seeds. Their struggles are not punishments, but preparation for their eventual bloom. This perspective also brings a sense of gratitude. When you stop resisting life, you start noticing its gifts. A smile from a stranger, a moment of stillness, a lesson learned from a difficult experience. These small blessings become sources of joy and inspiration. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice, it's a transformative one. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, from lack to abundance. For the chosen ones, this journey of surrender, perspective, and gratitude is what sets them apart. It's what prepares them for their triumphant return, the moment when they rise from the ashes of their struggles, stronger and more radiant than ever. And as they rise, they don't just lift themselves, they inspire others to do the same. Stay with me, because we're approaching the heart of this transformation. Ahead, we'll delve into practical steps the chosen ones can take to embrace their path fully, unlocking the peace and power that have been within them all along. The best is yet to come. Now that we've explored the foundations of surrender and perspective, let's turn our attention to practical steps. How do the chosen ones put these ideas into action? How do they shift from merely surviving their struggles to thriving through them? The answer lies in small, intentional choices, daily practices that anchor them in the present and open the door to transformation. Let's start with awareness. The first step to breaking free from the cycle of resistance is recognizing when it's happening. So often, we operate on autopilot, reacting to life without pausing to reflect. The chosen ones develop the habit of observing their thoughts and emotions without judgment. When frustration arises, they pause and ask themselves, what am I resisting right now? What am I holding on to that's causing this tension? This simple act of awareness is incredibly powerful. It creates space between the stimulus and the response, allowing the chosen ones to choose their reaction rather than being driven by it. Over time, this practice of mindfulness becomes second nature, helping them navigate life's ups and downs with grace and clarity. One practical way to cultivate this awareness is through meditation. Meditation isn't about emptying the mind, it's about becoming present. It's about sitting with your thoughts and feelings, observing them like clouds passing through the sky. As you meditate, you learn to detach from your thoughts. You realize that you are not your mind, you are the observer behind it. This realization is a game changer for the chosen ones, as it frees them from being enslaved by their inner narratives. Another powerful practice is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. It's a way of training your mind to see the beauty in the present moment, even amidst challenges. The chosen ones make it a habit to reflect on what they're thankful for daily. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the sun, the laughter of a loved one, or the resilience they've shown in tough times. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good exercise. It rewires the brain, fostering positivity and resilience. Next comes the practice of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of everything that happens. It means you stop resisting reality. It's about saying, this is where I am right now, and that's okay. This doesn't mean you won't strive for change, but it does mean you'll approach it from a place of peace rather than struggle. When the chosen ones embrace acceptance, they stop wasting energy on things they can't control. Instead, they channel that energy into what they can influence: their actions, their mindset, and their response to life's events. Imagine a chosen one facing a setback, a failed business venture, for example. In the past, they might have spiraled into self-doubt, replaying the what-ifs and should-haves in their mind. But now they pause. They take a deep breath and say, "This is my reality right now. I can't change what happened, but I can choose my next step." They reflect on what they've learned and use that knowledge to move forward. This shift in approach transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Another vital practice for the chosen ones is aligning their actions with their values. When you live in alignment with your true self, you experience a sense of integrity and fulfillment that no external success can provide. This means saying no to what doesn't serve you and saying yes to what lights you up. It means making choices that reflect your deeper purpose, even when they're uncomfortable or unconventional. For example, a chosen one might feel called to leave a stable job to pursue a passion project. On the surface, this decision might seem risky or impractical, but because it aligns with their values and purpose, it brings a sense of peace and clarity. The chosen ones understand that true success isn't about meeting society's expectations, it's about living authentically. Let's not forget the importance of community. While the journey of the chosen ones often feels solitary, it doesn't have to be. Surrounding yourself with people who understand your path, who encourage your growth, can make all the difference. Whether it's a mentor, a spiritual guide, or a supportive friend, these connections remind you that you're not alone. They provide perspective when you lose sight of your progress and inspiration when you need it most. Finally, the chosen ones embrace the practice of reflection. At the end of each day, they take a moment to pause and look back. They ask themselves questions like, what did I learn today? How did I grow? What am I grateful for? This habit of reflection helps them stay grounded, mindful, and connected to their journey. All these practices, awareness, gratitude, acceptance, alignment, community, and reflection, work together to transform the chosen ones. They are not overnight solutions, nor are they easy. They require patience, discipline, and a willingness to face discomfort. But for the chosen ones, the rewards are immeasurable. These practices cultivate a sense of peace, purpose, and resilience that no external circumstance can shake. As the chosen ones commit to these practices, something remarkable begins to happen. The struggles that once felt overwhelming lose their power. The setbacks that seemed insurmountable become opportunities for growth. And the path that once felt unclear begins to reveal itself, one step at a time. But this journey isn't just about individual transformation, it's about something greater. Ahead, we'll explore how the chosen ones, through their struggles and triumphs, become beacons of hope for others. Their story doesn't end with their own growth, it extends outward, creating ripples of inspiration that touch the lives of those around them. Stay with me, because the conclusion of this journey will illuminate the purpose behind it all. The journey of the chosen ones is never just about themselves. It's about the impact they have on the world around them, the way their struggles and triumphs inspire others to rise, to grow, and to embrace their own paths. This is where the story comes full circle, where the trials of the chosen ones transform into a beacon of hope for others who are still searching for their way. Think about the ripple effect of a single drop of water falling into a still pond. The ripples expand outward, touching every part of the surface. In the same way, the transformation of the chosen ones creates ripples of change that extend far beyond their immediate lives. Their resilience becomes a source of strength for others. Their courage to face the unknown encourages others to do the same. And their ability to rise from the ashes shows that it's possible, no matter how dark things may seem. But what makes this ripple effect so powerful is that it's born from authenticity. The chosen ones don't inspire others by pretending to have it all together. They inspire by being real, by sharing their struggles, their doubts, and their hard-won insights. When others see this authenticity, they feel less alone. They realize that their own struggles are not a sign of weakness, but a part of the human experience. This is why the chosen ones are often seen as guides, whether they intend to be or not. Their journey becomes a map for others, showing that it's possible to move through pain, to grow through challenges, and to emerge stronger on the other side. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to walk the path, to take the steps even when the destination is unclear. Let's return to the idea of surrender, because this is where the ripple effect begins. When the chosen ones surrender to life's flow, they stop fighting against the current. This doesn't just bring peace to their own lives, it creates a sense of calm and balance that others can feel. Have you ever been around someone who exudes a quiet confidence, a sense of peace that seems unshakable? That's the energy of someone who has surrendered. It's magnetic, it's transformative, and it's something the chosen ones cultivate through their journey. This energy isn't about perfection, it's about presence. When the chosen ones fully embrace the present moment, they become a living example of what's possible. They show others that peace isn't something you find in the future. It's something you create right now by letting go of resistance and stepping into acceptance. One of the most beautiful aspects of this ripple effect is that it's often subtle. The chosen ones don't need to shout their wisdom from the rooftops. Their actions speak louder than words. The way they handle adversity, the way they treat others, the way they live their lives, these become their message. And this message resonates deeply with those who are ready to hear it. For the chosen ones, this outward impact is not about ego or recognition. It's about service. They understand that their struggles have given them a gift, a deeper understanding of life, a greater capacity for compassion, a wisdom that can't be taught but must be lived. And they feel a responsibility to share this gift, not by imposing it on others, but by simply being who they are. Consider the story of the phoenix, a symbol of renewal and rebirth. The phoenix doesn't rise from the ashes for its own sake. Its rebirth is a testament to the power of transformation, a reminder that even the most intense fire can lead to something beautiful. The chosen ones are like the phoenix. Their journey is not just about their own growth, it's a symbol of hope for everyone who witnesses it. This is why the chosen ones are often called to step into roles of leadership, mentorship, or service. Their journey equips them with the tools and insights needed to guide others. And while this calling may feel daunting, it's also deeply rewarding. There's a sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing that your struggles weren't in vain, that they've paved the way for others to find their strength, their peace, their purpose. But let's be clear, this ripple effect isn't about changing the world overnight. It's about small, meaningful moments, a kind word to someone who's struggling, a gesture of support to someone who feels lost, a conversation that sparks a shift in perspective. These moments, though seemingly small, have the power to change lives. And over time, they add up, creating a wave of transformation that extends far beyond what any one person could achieve alone. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect. If you've made it this far, you are likely one of the chosen ones, or perhaps you're on the cusp of realizing it. Your path is not easy, but it is meaningful. Your struggles are not random, but purposeful. And your ability to rise, to grow, to transform is not just for you, it's for the countless others who will be inspired by your journey. So, what's the next step for you? It's simple. Keep going. Keep embracing the present moment. Keep surrendering to the flow of life. Keep trusting that everything you're going through is shaping you for something greater. And above all, keep sharing your light, because the world needs it now more than ever. Your journey is far from over. In many ways, it's just beginning. And as you continue to rise, remember this: you are not alone. You are part of something much larger than yourself, a tapestry of chosen ones who are each contributing their unique thread to the fabric of humanity. Together, you are creating a story of hope, resilience, and transformation, a story that will be told for generations to come. Before you go, if this message resonated with you, I encourage you to stay on this journey with us. Check out our previous video, Why Your Struggles Are Proof of Your Destiny. It dives even deeper into how the challenges you face are shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Trust me, it's a perspective you don't want to miss. If you enjoyed this video, let us know by liking it, leaving a comment, and sharing it with someone who might need to hear this today. Your support helps us continue creating content that inspires and uplifts. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another step in this transformative journey. Together, we're creating a community of chosen ones who are ready to rise. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.